set up on this turkey. He's still on the roost. It's still real early. I'm about 100 yards from him, maybe 80, 90. They're scratching all around where I'm sitting. I was in here the other morning when an hen came up from behind me, and the gobbler was in front of me, and that was that morning. It started raining, but it's been scratching in here since then. This place is tore up. I'm right where he normally gobbles. He's a little bit off from where he normally gobbles. So I got confidence in this setup. Got another turkey gobbling east of me way off. And I thought I might have heard one west of me gobble one time, but got the decoys out at about 8 yards. Pretty open out there. The gobbler ought to be able to see the decoys from probably 30, 40 yards out. Got a bunch of stuff thrown on top of the blind. I think we're good. I'm going to wait till he's near about time for him to fly down before I ever make a call, and then it's just going to be a soft hand call. I'm not going to do a lot. When he gets on the ground, I might pour it to him. I can just catch a glimpse of him every now and then out front. Just barely can see him. Had 2 real hands for decoys out there for half an hour. He wouldn't come into those. They could hear him scratch and see him. But I'm still in a good place, and he's still out there. I'm going to wait around and see what happens. Turkey is about to wear me out. He's been at 2 spots all morning, both of them about 80 yards away. And he gobbles his head off, but he will not budge. He moved from that one spot to another, and I thought he might come in, and then if he ever breaks out of this spot, I might have a chance, but I don't know when he's going to do it. We'll just have to wait him out. I'm in a good spot, but the hens has done gone on down. I don't even scratching in the leaves. He's real. That joker has wore me out. This thing got on up by 9 o'clock in the morning, and he's still just right out there. He quit gobbling for a while, and now he is fired up. Sun's kind of popping out a little bit. Maybe his mood will change and he'll walk on down in here. I'm gonna just sit here and wait him out till he calms or quits gobbling. Well, he finally about quit gobbling this morning. I don't know what time it is, probably 9:30, 10 o'clock. You know, he won this battle. But like every battle, I learned a little something about him. You know, he might have learned a little something about me, but I believe I learned a little more about him than he learned about me. I learned the spot he likes. He likes to stay right out there. And he ended up working way back to the left. But must be a real pretty spot out there. Just a spot he likes to stay. Because he stayed there just about all morning. And I bet you one thing, I bet you I can find it in the dark in the morning. We'll be back in there, Lord willing. Well, I was just fixing to start taking down my blind. And I just said I was going to go up that field and look to see if he was in that field. And a hawk hollered and he gobbled right out there. He's moved on the other way about probably 75, 100 yards. And so I'm going to be able to get out of here without boogering him or anything. He didn't go to the field, so anyway. Well, I'm out here in my shop tinkering around this evening. Had a long, drawn-out hunt this morning, working that bird. But anyway, I was thinking about trying to make a more visible decoy, because the woods I hunt are so dark. A lot of times I think turkeys can be out there maybe 60 yards and can't even see the decoys if it's not any movement, and we can't tie strings to them or anything. And I was just tinkering around with my old Cherokee Sports decoy. The fan had a bad leak in it, so I just cut it off. I'm looking to try to figure out a way to add a natural fan to it. It's a little bit out of my style. I like a more portable style that's no, not any trouble to fool with, and this fan will be a little bit difficult to carry. I'd rather just have the old inflatable fan on there. But anyway, that's what I'm kind of tinkering with. I caped out my first turkey the other day, and I was going to try to make this cape work. But the downside is I cut such a big hole in that turkey with a big old broadhead that I shoot. I mean, you can literally, I can almost stick my head through that hole. And I probably need to shoot one with a smaller broadhead just to get something to work with. Justin sent a question. He said, it looks like you've modified your Jake decoy. And in fact, I have. This is a Dakota. And when I first started trying to pack it, the tail was a problem. I couldn't stuff it all the way down in my pack because of the length of it. And I did a little modification on his tail that worked out real well. I actually cut the tail part off right like that and fixed it, put a piece of elastic on there and fixed it where I could shove the tail up in him. And it actually works really well. It don't go too far up in him and get out of place.
It stays just perfect. When I set it up, I just give it a little pull like that, and it's back natural. And the main thing I did to it is I cut the whole bottom out. I didn't really save that much weight because I had to foam in this. I put a funnel in here. My biggest problem that I was having, and still have with any decoy, is finding that little bitty decoy stake receiver in the dark, and finding it fast even in the in the daylight. It's just a small hole, small stake, and you're trying to get it all together. And I put this funnel in there, and it just literally catches the receiver and it goes to the right place every time. And it really allows the decoy to kind of move around a little bit more natural. I had one time aspiration to hook a string to it and get some side to side movement, have a lay down hen in front of it, and it actually looks, you tie the string to the stake and give it a little move, and this thing will wobble like this, and it actually looks like a turkey getting ready to breed. But we can't tie strings to them in Alabama, and it just like I said, just all that stuff is a little bit goes against the grain of my style. Most of my stuff is real fast hunts, run and gun. I'm not setting up a elaborate setup and we're going to sit there all day. I just have a real quick set, and this decoy works real well. 90% of the turkeys that's going to come into a decoy is going to come into most any decoy, and when they're ready, they're ready. And that's what I found. I've had good luck with just about all decoys. The gobbler decoys, they come in more aggressive, they come in harder, and a lot of times they come in right to the decoy. Sometimes they don't. A hen decoy, they'll be a little more standoffish, come in real slow and strutting. And sometimes they don't come in all the way. Sometimes they sit back out waiting on the hen to come to them. But if they got that fighting instinct, this Jake is the way to go. But that's just a couple of little mods I did. This is just a funnel right here. I bought it probably Walmart, and the end actually stuck up in the. I saw the existing stake hole off up real close in there and screwed it back on with this screw. It's just like a piece of PVC or something with an end cap, something similar to that, and that screws right in the end of the end cap. And then this funnel stuck right up in there, so all of it works real well. I put a little bit of foam around it, kind of give it some support, and this thing has been through some treacherous times. I mean, just a lot of abuse, and I don't stick it on my pack in my pack anymore. I carry it on the back of my pack, and I can show you kind of how I do that in another video. But anyway, that's my system. Maybe get me a better cape and put that on here, and figure out a way to add a fan, and maybe some of these evening setups where I'm going to set a long time, I might incorporate that. That looks pretty good right there. I don't think it'd be too much trouble to fix a way to attach that, and you get a really good movement out of these Cherokee Sports. And maybe if I could get a better covering on him someday, figure something out. This would be a jam up little decoy for setting, like in the evening time. And